Look, Mommy, I saw her again, he whispered, pointing out the window. To the billionaire father at the end of the hall, they were just the empty words of his autistic son. But for the new black maid, who leaned in and saw what he was showing, it was the first second of terror. Upon realizing the child wasn't hallucinating, he was the sole witness to a horrible secret hidden in the garden. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now subscribe to the channel and let's get started. You'll find Mr. Harrington prefers a quiet household, Miss Washington. The child requires a strict routine and minimal disruption. Aaliyah Washington stood in the massive entryway of the Harrington mansion, taking in the cold marble floors and high ceilings. The stern woman before her, Patricia Winters, looked Aaliyah up and down with narrowed eyes. Her gray hair was pulled into a tight bun, not a strand out of place. I understand, Aaliyah replied, gripping her small suitcase like it was her last lifeline. She'd dealt with kids on the spectrum before, back in her psych internship days. But at 26, with bills piling up and no other gigs in sight, she wasn't about to rock the boat. This position is housekeeping, plain and simple, Winters snapped, her voice like a whip crack. Mr. Harrington handles Theo's care through me. I'm his nurse and overseer. You're here to scrub floors and fold laundry, got it? Aaliyah nodded, though the job ad had screamed for child psych experience. She bit her tongue. Arguing wouldn't pay the rent. Let me show you around, Winters said, pivoting on her sensible heels. The tour hit Aaliyah like a gut punch. The place was a museum, not a home. Gleaming surfaces everywhere, but zero warmth. She counted 12 bedrooms, 8 baths, 3 lounges, and a kitchen bigger than her old Brooklyn walk-up. One hallway was lined with family photos, a sharp-jawed guy with sandy hair and ice-blue eyes next to a stunning blonde. In the later shots, she was glowing, her belly round with pregnancy. That's Mr. Harrington and his late wife, Elizabeth, Winters said, catching Aaliyah's stare. She passed 3 years back, right after the birth. Complications. Aaliyah's chest tightened. That's rough. So it's just him and the kid now? And the staff, Winters added curtly. Mr. Harrington pulls long hours. He's the big shot behind Harrington Tech Solutions. They hit a sunlit room with huge windows overlooking sprawling gardens. A little blond boy sat cross-legged on the floor, stacking blocks with laser focus. He didn't glance up. This is Theodore Harrington, Winters announced. Theo's on the autism spectrum. Stick to his schedule, no disruptions. Aaliyah eyed the kid's delicate features, the curly hair. He looked maybe 3, tops. Something twisted in her gut seeing him so alone in this echoey palace. Hey, Theo, Aaliyah said softly, dropping to his level. I'm Aaliyah. The boy kept stacking like she was invisible. He doesn't warm up quickly, Winters said flatly. Don't take it personally. A tall man strode in, fiddling with his tie. Winters, this is the new hire? Yes, sir. Aaliyah Washington. Lucas Harrington gave her a quick nod. Welcome. Winters will fill you in on duties. Go through her for anything. His gaze flicked to Theo, but he stayed put. No hug, no nothing. Meetings all day, back by 8, and poof, he was gone. Aaliyah noted that Theo didn't even twitch at his dad's voice. Your quarters this way, Winters continued, leading her to the west wing. East wing's off limits unless scheduled for cleaning. Aaliyah's room was basic. A bed, a dresser, a tiny bath, and a window to the side garden. Unpacking her stuff, she replayed the vibe. Distant dad, iron-fisted overseer, silent kid in a ghost town of a house. It screamed red flags. First few days blurred into routine. Mornings wiping down the main rooms. Afternoons tackling laundry and meal prep. Evenings tidying after Theo's bedtime. She barely spotted Lucas, who bolted before dawn and rolled in late. On day 3, dusting the library, Aaliyah found a drawer stuffed with unopened birthday cards for Theo. Weird. Later in the kitchen, she overheard Winters on the phone. All under control. No worries. The new girl's no threat. Aaliyah ducked out quickly, heart pounding. That afternoon, polishing the east wing windows, she heard pattering feet. Theo marched in, beelining for the bay window. He stared out at 3:15 sharp. Hey, Theo, she murmured. You like the view? He pointed at a spot by the old greenhouse. Look, Mommy, I saw her again. His voice lit up, face alive for the first time. Aaliyah froze. The kid had been mute around her till now. "Who'd you see, buddy?" she asked, inching closer. Winters burst in. "Theo, snack time." Her eyes drilled into Aaliyah. "Stick to cleaning, Miss Washington." Later, folding sheets, Aaliyah probed gently. "Theo got excited about something in the garden today." Winter's mouth thinned. "Just his condition flaring. Imaginary friends. Mr. Harrington doesn't want us feeding that nonsense. He calls out to his mom a lot?" Aaliyah pushed. "Kids like him process grief slowly," Winters dismissed. "That's all." That night, Aaliyah dialed her buddy Sarah Collins, the detective. "This place is gorgeous but creepy, Sarah," she whispered from her room. "Kid hardly talks, dad's a ghost, and Winters eyes me like I'm casing the joint." "Rich folks are oddballs," Sarah chuckled. "But the check clears, right?" "Yeah, but something's off. Secret calls, off-limits zones. Watch your back, girl. Money buys lawyers." The next day, Aaliyah timed it. Near the east window at 3:15. Theo showed up like clockwork, pointing. "Look, Mommy, I saw her again." Aaliyah knelt. "Who, Theo?" He stared hard outside. She followed his gaze. Hedges, flowers, greenhouse. Then, a flash of blonde curls ducking behind it. Her pulse spiked. Looked like a mini Theo. "Miss Washington." Winter's voice sliced in. Aaliyah jumped. "Duty's elsewhere." As Winters yanked Theo away, Aaliyah glanced back. Garden empty now, but she knew what she'd glimpsed. A kid, hiding in plain sight, in a house where Lucas thought he had one son. Aaliyah lingered by the window after they left, mind racing. Had she really spotted another child? Identical to Theo? No way, but that glimpse burned in her brain, a small blonde head vanishing. Morning hit hard. She couldn't shake it. After chores, she strolled outside for fresh air, nodding to the old gardener trimming bushes. The greenhouse loomed dusty, abandoned. Circling back, she froze. Kid-sized footprints in the dirt. Nearby, a half-eaten apple. Cracker bits. "Everything all right, Miss Washington?" Winters loomed, arms crossed. Aaliyah played cool. "Just stretching my legs. East grounds are restricted. Privacy matters." Back inside, folding laundry, Aaliyah spotted Winters sorting kid clothes. Boy stuff for Theo, but girl outfits too. When Winters stepped out for a call, Aaliyah peeked. Dresses, size 4. Why girls' clothes? Afternoon, she sat near Theo during playtime, flipping picture books. "Want to see, Theo?" He scooted closer, surprising her, pointing at a family pic. "Family." "Yeah, mom, dad, siblings, like twins." Theo nodded, eyes glued. "Two same." Her heart raced. Twins. Aaliyah stared at Theo's little face as he went back to his blocks, the word twins echoing in her head like a siren. Two same. Kid was onto something. She could feel it in her bones. But pushing now would tip Winters off, and she needed to play smart. That evening, after tucking away the laundry, she paced her room, mind buzzing. Rich folks hid skeletons. Divorces, affairs, shady deals. But hiding a whole kid? That was next level messed up. She grabbed her phone, thumbing through notes. Footprints, girls' clothes, Theo's garden fixation. It added up to trouble. Next morning, Aaliyah hit the ground running, scrubbing the kitchen counters like her life depended on it. Winters hovered, dishing out orders with that icy stare. "Floors need mopping by noon. No shortcuts." Aaliyah nodded, keeping her cool. "Got it." But inside she seethed. Woman treated the house like a prison. Theo like some fragile exhibit. By afternoon, she timed her break perfectly, slipping near the east wing at 3:15. Theo toddled in right on cue, pressing his nose to the glass. "I see her," he whispered, finger jabbing at the greenhouse. Aaliyah's pulse kicked up. "Her? Who's she, Theo?" He just pointed harder, eyes locked outside. She scanned the garden, nothing at first, then a rustle. Blonde curls again, ducking fast. Her stomach flipped. No hallucination. Real as hell. Winters stormed in like a hawk. "Theo, schedule says snack now." She shot Aaliyah a death glare. "What part of no disruptions don't you get?" Aaliyah straightened, forcing a shrug. "Just passing through, ma'am." Kid seemed excited. Winters snatched Theo's hand. "His imagination runs wild. Don't encourage it. Mr. Harrington's orders." As they left, Theo twisted back, whispering, "Her again." Aaliyah's fist clenched behind her back. Bitch was covering something big. That night she couldn't sleep, replaying the glimpses. Kid out there, alone, in this heat. Rage bubbled up. How could Lucas not notice? Guy was too busy counting billions to see his own backyard. Dawn broke, and Aaliyah snuck out early, pretending to fetch supplies. She beelined for the greenhouse, heart hammering. Grounds were quiet, the gardener nowhere in sight. Up close, the place reeked of neglect. Dusty panes, overgrown weeds. She circled slowly, eyes peeled. There, fresh footprints in the mud, tiny like Theo's. She knelt, tracing one with her finger. Kid-sized sneakers, no doubt. Nearby, a crumpled juice box, strawberry flavor. Her breath caught. Someone was feeding a ghost child. "Exploring, Miss Washington?" Winter's voice sliced from behind. Aaliyah jolted up, brushing dirt off her knees. "Just checking for weeds. Thought I'd help out." Winter's eyes narrowed to slits. "Garden's not your job. Stick to indoors or we'll have issues." Aaliyah forced a smile, but inside she burned. The woman was guarding that spot like Fort Knox. Back inside, folding endless towels, Aaliyah's mind raced. Footprints meant real feet. Juice meant someone caring or controlling. She needed more. During lunch prep, she accidentally bumped the delivery logs on Winter's desk. Quick scan, vitamins, kids' meds, and yeah, girls' outfits. Size 4, shipped monthly. Her blood boiled. Theo wore boys' stuff. Who the hell needed dresses? Winters walked in, catching her mid-glance. "Snooping now?" Aaliyah played dumb. "Just organizing piles, sorry." But Winters' face twisted. "Mind your business, girl, or pack your bags." The threat hit like a slap, but it fueled her. No way she'd back down. Theo deserved better than lies. Afternoon playtime, Aaliyah hung back, watching Theo stack blocks alone. She slid over casually, pulling out crayons. "Draw with me?" He hesitated, then grabbed blue, scribbling 2 stick figures. "Me," he said, pointing to one. The other had a skirt. "Her." Aaliyah's throat tightened. "Who's she, Theo? A friend?" He glanced around sneakily, then leaned in. "Sister." The word punched her gut. Sister? In a house with one kid? Phony death certs, hidden twins? Sounded like a Lifetime flick, but real. Her hands shook as she pocketed the drawing. This wasn't just weird, it was wrong. Criminal. Rage surged, Lucas ignoring his boy, Winters pulling strings. Theo trusted her now, those big eyes begging for help. She wouldn't let him down. That evening, Aaliyah called Sarah again, voice low in her room. "It's worse, girl. Kids drawing twins, pointing to a spot with footprints, and girls' clothes deliveries? Winters is hiding something huge." Sarah whistled. "Sounds shady. Document it. Pics, notes. But careful. Rich dudes play dirty." "I know. But Theo, he's got no one." Hanging up, Aaliyah stared out her window at the darkening garden. That kid out there, cold, scared. It ate at her. Unfair didn't cut it. This was straight-up evil. She had to dig deeper, expose it all. For Theo, for whoever her was. Aaliyah's gut twisted like a knot as she slipped Theo's drawing into her pocket, the crayon lines burning a hole in her mind. Sister. The word hung heavy, a bomb waiting to blow. She couldn't shake it. Theo's whispers, those footprints, the girl's clothes. This wasn't some rich family quirk. It stank of cover-up. Winter's threats echoed in her head, but screw that. She wasn't backing off, not when a kid's eyes begged for truth. Morning chores flew by in a blur, wiping counters, folding linens, but her brain plotted. She needed hard proof, something to nail Winters. During a quick bathroom break, she texted Sarah, "Need background on Harrington family. Twins? Wife's death?" Sarah pinged back fast. "On it. Stay low." By noon, Aaliyah was dusting the library shelves, heart pounding as she eyed the locked drawers. Winters was out running errands. Perfect window. She jimmied one open with a hairpin, guilt gnawing, but fury winning. Inside, old files, photos, and jackpot. A leather-bound journal, edges worn. Elizabeth Harrington's handwriting looped elegantly on the cover. Aaliyah's fingers trembled, flipping pages. Entries from pregnancy. Lucas is thrilled. Twins, a boy and a girl, after all those treatments. Her breath hitched. Twins. Confirmed. Later pages turned dark. Winters asks weird questions about the babies. Says she knows folks who'd help if it's too much. Lucas laughs it off, but her eyes, they scare me. Aaliyah's blood ran cold. Elizabeth had sensed the snake. Final entry. Days before birth. Something's off. Winters hovers too much. If anything happens to my babies, it cut off. Aaliyah snapped pics on her phone, shoving the journal back just as footsteps echoed down the hall. Winters burst in, arms loaded with bags. Library's done? Her gaze swept the room like a scanner. Aaliyah nodded, pulse racing. Yeah, all polished. But she clocked the bags. Kid stuff peeking out. Pink sippy cups. Girls' vitamins. Winters stashed them quickly, but not quickly enough. Aaliyah's fist balled behind her back. Feeding a hidden girl? Rage simmered. How long had this gone on? 3 years if Theo's age was a clue. She played dumb, heading to the laundry, but her mind screamed. Elizabeth knew, and paid for it. Complications, my ass. Afternoon hit, and Aaliyah positioned near Theo's playroom. He stacked blocks methodically, but glanced at the window often. She sat close, pulling the picture board she'd snuck in, simple icons for communication. Theo, show me what you see outside. He pointed to a twin icon, then a garden one. Her throat tightened. Sister in the garden? He nodded, eyes wide. Clara. The name dropped like a stone. Clara, twin sister, hidden. Winter's phone rang from the hall, pulling Aaliyah's focus. She crept closer, ear pressed to the door crack. Delivery's on schedule, Winters hissed low. No, the girl's fine. Isolated as planned. Housekeeper's nosy, but I'll handle her. Aaliyah's skin crawled. Girl, confirmed. Buyers still interested. Twins with spectrum traits are gold for research. Winters paused, laughing coldly. Harrison's clueless, buried in work since his wife. Aaliyah backed away, silent, heart slamming. Research. Buyers. This was trafficking shit. Her hand showed Wiley dialing Sarah from her room. Girl, it's bad. Journal says twins. Theo named her. Clara. Overheard Winters on the phone. Talking buyers, research on autistic twins. Sarah sucked in air. Jesus, that's felony territory. Pyth CS of the journal. Logs. Sending now. Aaliyah hit upload, pacing. Winters killed the mom. Journal hints she suspected. Sarah's voice turned steel. Possible. I'll run checks on Winters, background and connections. But Aaliyah, if this is a ring, bigger than one bitch, way bigger. Document everything. Pics, times, convos, and watch your back. She smells you sniffing. Hanging up, Aaliyah stared at her phone, pics of the journal glowing. Elizabeth's words screamed betrayal. Poor woman. Pregnant, scared, dismissed as paranoid. Lucas probably bought the hormone imbalance line, hook, sinker, typical rich guy, delegate family to staff, ignore the rot. But Winters, pure evil, peddling kids like lab rats. Aaliyah's jaw clenched, nails digging into palms. She'd seen it in her psych days. Vulnerable kids exploited, not on her watch. Theo's face flashed, innocent, trusting. Clarice is out there, alone, probably terrified. Fury boiled over. She punched her pillow, muffling a growl. This network, doctors, labs, Sarah's checks would uncover, but time ticked. Winter's call mentioned handling her. Threat, poison in her coffee, fired with no reference. Screw that. She'd play along, gather more. Evening chores dragged, but Aaliyah eyed Winters unloading those bags in the pantry. More girls' stuff, dresses, meds. She helped stack, brushing a label, acetaminophen, kid's dose. For Theo, Winters snatched it. Mind your lane. But Aaliyah caught the script prescribed to Clara Harrington. Boom. Proof. Night fell, Aaliyah in bed, staring at the ceiling. Sarah texted, Winters record, nurse but flagged in 2 states for med errors. Links to offshore clinics. digging deeper. Offshore, international. Her stomach churned. This wasn't local scum. It was a web, spinning kids into experiments. Autistic twins? Rare, valuable for research. Bile rose, treating humans like data points. Elizabeth fought it, lost. Now Aaliyah carried the torch. She rolled over, fist clenched. Tomorrow more digging, calls, buys, patterns. And Theo? She'd protect him. Clara too. The pieces fit, jagged and ugly. But exposing it, that'd shatter everything. Good. Let it burn. Rain hammered the mansion like 1,000 fists, turning the garden into a muddy swamp. Aaliyah peered out her window, lightning cracking the sky, illuminating the old cottage in flashes. That squat building hunkered at the edge of the property, windows dark as secrets. Her phone buzzed. Sarah. Winters linked to shady clinics in Europe. Med errors. Cover for the worst. Get proof, but don't go lone wolf. Aaliyah's jaw tightened. Lone wolf? Hell, she was already howling. 3 years of this crap. Clara rotting in isolation, while Theo whispered to ghosts. No more waiting. She yanked on a black hoodie, stuffed her phone in her pocket, and slipped out the service door. Thunder rumbled as she dashed across the lawn, boots sucking in the muck. The fence loomed, chain link slick with rain. Aaliyah spotted a dip underneath, just wide enough. She dropped flat, wiggling through, mud smearing her face. Shit, she muttered, spitting grit. Up close, the cottage screamed neglect. Peeling paint, boarded windows. But one back window had a loose latch. She pried it open, hoisting herself in, landing soft on creaky floors. Flashlight app on low, she swept the beam. Kid's bed, rumpled sheets, bookshelf with tattered picture books. A mini fridge hummed in the corner. No dust bunnies. Someone cleaned regularly. Her skin prickled. This was a cage, not a hideout. Drawings taped to the wall, 2 stick kids holding hands. Theo's style. Her chest ached. Clara knew her brother, a tiny rustle behind her. Aaliyah spun, beam catching a small figure in the doorway. Who are you? A soft voice piped, blue eyes wide under messy blonde curls. Aaliyah's heart slammed. Mirror image of Theo, but hair longer, face thinner. Clara. Hey, sweetie, Aaliyah whispered, kneeling slowly. I'm Aaliyah. I work at the big house, with Theo. Clara's eyes lit up. Theo? My brother? She rocked on her heels, avoiding Aaliyah's gaze, just like Theo. Yeah, he talks about you. Draws you. Aaliyah's voice caught. Kid looked healthy-ish, but those hollow cheeks screamed neglect. You know my name? Clara murmured, twisting her nightgown hem. Clara Elizabeth. Aaliyah nodded, fighting tears. Theo told me. How long have you been here? Clara shrugged. Always. Aunt Patty says I'm broken. Daddy doesn't want broken kids. Aaliyah's fist balled. Broken? That witch. You're not broken, Clara. You're perfect. Aunt Patty, Winters. She's lying. Clara pointed to the window. I see Theo sometimes. Wave but can't talk. Aunt Patty locks me in. Aaliyah's rage boiled over. Isolated. Lied to. Treated like trash. She snapped quick pics. The room, drawings, Clara's face. Evidence. You eat okay? Play? Clara nodded hesitantly. Fridge has food, but lonely. Doctors come, poke me, take blood. Aaliyah's stomach twisted. Doctors. For research. Headlights swept the windows, a car approaching. Aunt Patty, Clara whimpered, grabbing Aaliyah's hand. Hide! She'll be mad. They ducked into a closet, Clara trembling against her. Key rattled the door. Winters stormed in, phone to ear. We move tonight, she snarled. Housekeeper's on to us. Switch Theo's meds, snapping pics. Aaliyah held her breath, phone recording silent in her pocket. Winters paced. Sedate her for transport. Buyers hot for the twin data. Autism sync rare as hell. Clara whimpered softly. Aaliyah shushed her gently. Winters continued. Brother's next once girl's gone. Harrison's a fool. Distracted since I offed the wife. Aaliyah's blood froze. Offed. Murder. Confirmed. She sniffed the switch post-birth. Couldn't risk her blabbing. Winters laughed coldly. Facility in Eastern Europe primed. Neural patterns gold for pharma tests. Aaliyah's nails dug into her palms. Trafficking. Experiments on kids. Bile rose. She wanted to burst out, throttle the bitch. But Clara clung tight, scared stiff. Winters grabbed a suitcase, stuffing clothes. One twin's good, but both. Jackpot. Wasted potential otherwise. She ended the call and locked the door behind her. Aaliyah exhaled shakily, pulling Clara out. We gotta go, sweetie. Clara shook her head. Can't. Aunt Patty says it's dangerous. She's the danger, Aaliyah hissed, windows stuck from rain. Headlights returned, Winters circling back. Aaliyah's phone buzzed silently. Sarah. She texted frantically. In cottage. Clara alive. Winters traffic killed mom. Coming back. Help! Sarah fired back. Cops en route. ETA 20. Hide. Record. Aaliyah pocketed it, lifting Clara to the window. Through here. Run to the big house. Clara hesitated, then nodded. For Theo. Aaliyah boosted her out, squeezing after, rain soaking them. They crouched in bushes as Winters unlocked the door again. Clara, time to go. Her voice echoed inside. Aaliyah grabbed Clara's hand. Quiet, follow me. They dashed low across the lawn, thunder masking steps, but Winters' flashlight beam swung out. Who's there? Aaliyah's pulse thundered. Busted? They dove behind a hedge, Clara whimpering. Winters scanned, then ducked back in. Aaliyah exhaled. Close. Too close. Back in her room, Aaliyah locked the door. Clara huddled on the bed, shivering. Safe now? The girl whispered. Aaliyah nodded, wrapping her in a blanket. Yeah, baby. Cops coming. She fired off pics to Sarah. Clara's face, the cottage setup. Proof sent. Winters is prepping an escape. Sarah. Units dispatched. Stay put. Aaliyah paced, adrenaline crashing. This kid, starved for touch. Love. She sat, stroking Clara's hair. Theo's gonna flip seeing you. Clara's eyes softened. Brother. Tension coiled. Aaliyah eyed the door. Winters could check any time. Rain pounded relentlessly, clock ticking. She grabbed her phone again, recording a quick vid of Clara. Tell me about Aunt Patty. Clara rocked. She says I'm special. For science. Aaliyah's gut wrenched. Last evidence. Cops better haul ass. The truth was out, ugly and raw. But saving Clara, worth every risk. Aaliyah's door rattled like a cage, Winter's voice booming through. Clara, where are you? Footsteps thundered down the hall, searching rooms. Aaliyah's heart jackhammered. Bitch had discovered the empty cottage. She scooped Clara up, blanket and all. Shh, baby, we gotta move. Clara nodded, eyes huge with terror. Aaliyah cracked the door, peeking. Hall is clear. For now. They slipped out, darting toward the back stairs. Rain still pounded outside, but sirens wailed faintly in the distance. Cops incoming. Hold on. Winter's shouts echoed from the east wing. You little brat, come out. Aaliyah's skin crawled. No time. She hit the service exit, bursting into the garden. Mud sucked at their feet, lightning cracking overhead. Clara clung like a koala, whimpering. To the big house front. Cops'll hit there first. Flashlight beams sliced the dark. Winters out back, sweeping. I see you, she bellowed. Aaliyah cursed under her breath, veering toward the greenhouse for cover. Branches whipped her face, rain blinding. Clara buried her head in Aaliyah's shoulder. Scared. I got you, Aaliyah gasped, lungs burning. But Winters gained fast, sensible shoes, no match for panic. A syringe glinted in her hand. Sedative. Shit. Aaliyah's mind raced. Drop Clara? Fight? No, protect the kid. They hit the greenhouse side, ducking behind. Winters lunged, grabbing Clara's arm. Gotcha! Clara screamed, high and piercing. Aaliyah yanked back hard. Let her go, you psycho! They tugged toward the girl, Clara wailing. Winters' face twisted feral. She's my valuable asset. She jabbed the syringe wildly, missing Aaliyah's arm by inches. Aaliyah kicked low, nailing Winters' knee. The woman staggered, grip loosening. Clara tumbled free, scrambling behind Aaliyah. Run to the house, Aaliyah yelled. But Clara froze, rocking in mud. Winters recovered, syringe raised. You ruined everything, nosy bitch! She charged, tackling Aaliyah to the ground. Mud splashed, fists flying. Aaliyah clawed her face, drawing blood. "You're done! Cops know!" Winters snarled, pinning her. "Too late for her!" She twisted toward Clara, dragging the girl by her nightgown. Clara kicked, screaming, "No!" Aaliyah surged up, grabbing Winter's ankle, yanking her off balance. They rolled in the muck, syringe flying into bushes. Thunder boomed, lightning flashing their struggle like a horror flick. Headlights pierced the gate, cop cars screeching up the drive. But Winters didn't quit, hauling Clara toward the fence. "Buyers wait. Millions for her brainwaves." Aaliyah lunged again, wrapping her arms around Winter's waist. "Over my dead body!" They crashed down, Clara breaking free, toddling toward the house lights. Winters elbowed Aaliyah's ribs hard. Crack of pain. Aaliyah gasped but held on, nails digging. "You killed Elizabeth. Admit it." Winters laughed manically. "She poked too deep. Overdose easy." Rage exploded. Aaliyah headbutted her nose, blood spraying. Winters howled, swinging wildly. Sirens blared closer, blue-red lights strobing the garden. The back door flew open, Lucas silhouetted, Theo peeking behind. "What the hell?" Lucas barked, storming out. Theo pointed. "Sister!" Winters froze mid-drag. Clara halfway to the fence. Aaliyah shoved up, muddy and bruised. "Lucas! Stop her!" Lucas halted, eyes locking on Clara. "My God!" Identical to Theo, same curls, same face. Theo bolted out, rain soaking his PJs, grabbing Clara's hand. The twins stood side by side, staring. Winter's face paled. "Lucas, it's a trick. She dressed Theo up. Sick game." But Lucas's jaw dropped, piecing it. "Clara, but you said dead." Winters lunged for the syringe in the bushes, jabbing toward Aaliyah. "Back off. She's defective. One was enough for you." Lucas snapped awake, charging. "You stole my daughter?" Aaliyah blocked Winter's path to the kids. "She trafficked her. Research labs. Killed Elizabeth when she suspected." Winters swung the needle. "Lies. Elizabeth was weak. Complications." But her eyes darted wildly, like a cornered rat. Lucas scooped the twins, shielding them. "Theo, inside now." Theo tugged Clara. "Safe." Winters broke free, grabbing Clara's leg. "Worth fortunes. Synced autism twins. Science needs them," Clara shrieked. Aaliyah tackled Winters again, pinning her arms. "It's over." Cop cars screeched to a halt, doors flying open. Sarah burst out first, gun drawn. "Police! Freeze!" Officers swarmed, cuffing Winters as she thrashed. "You idiots! This is bigger. Powerful people want those kids." Lucas knelt in the mud, staring at Clara. "My girl, alive." Tears mixed with rain on his face. Clara shrank back, but Theo held her hand tight. "Daddy?" Lucas reached, tentative, voice breaking. "I didn't know. God, I didn't know." Aaliyah stood panting, ribs throbbing, watching the reunion. Satisfaction flooded. Truth out, Winters busted. But Winters' screams echoed as cops dragged her. "The network won't stop. Those twins are gold." Sarah clapped Aaliyah's shoulder. "You okay? That was ballsy." Aaliyah winced, nodding. "Kids are safe. That's what counts." Lucas looked up, haunted. "She said, research? My babies?" Aaliyah met his eyes. "Yeah, but it's done now." Sirens faded as Winters vanished into a squad car, her rants muffled. The garden fell quiet, rain easing. Twins huddled with Dad, Aaliyah stepping back. Relief hit hard, but questions lingered. Bigger network? For now, the family is whole. Bombshell dropped. Harrington's world shattered, but maybe rebuilt stronger. Rain had stopped, but the garden reeked of wet earth and betrayal. Cop cars lined the drive, lights flashing like accusations. Aaliyah leaned against the mansion wall, ribs throbbing from Winter's elbow, watching Sarah cuff the screeching nurse into a squad car. "This ain't over," Winter spat, eyes wild. "The network's bigger. You're screwing with fire." Sarah slammed the door, muting her. Lucas knelt nearby, twins clutched tight, his suit mud-caked. "Clara! My God, Clara!" Theo patted her hand rhythmically, like a code. Clara peeked at him, then buried her face. Aaliyah's chest heaved. Relief mixed with fury. She'd blown it wide open, but Winter's words gnawed. Network. Bigger threats are lurking. Sarah jogged over, face grim. Aaliyah, you nailed it. Recording gold. But Winter's phone. Links to a web. Doctors, labs, international buyers. Aaliyah's gut twisted. How big? Sarah glanced at Lucas. Big enough for feds. Targeting special needs kids. Autistic twins, jackpot for neurotests. Lucas stood shaky, twins in tow. My kids. Lab rats? His voice cracked. Clara flinched at his touch. Theo steadied her. Aaliyah stepped in. Get them inside. Medics coming. Paramedics swarmed, checking Clara. Underweight, but vital. DNA swabs flew. Twins confirmed. Lucas paced the foyer, haunted. I thought she died. Birth complications. Sarah nodded. Fake cert. Winter swapped her out while Elizabeth was out cold. Aaliyah's fist balled. And killed her when she sniffed it. Dawn broke as cops wrapped the scene. Sarah pulled Aaliyah aside. Interviews tomorrow, but heads up, Winter's name drops. Eleanor Reynolds, Gene Doc. She's in the wind. Aaliyah's skin prickled. Think she'll come sniffing? Sarah shrugged. Possible. Watch the kids. Lucas overheard, face hardening. No one's touching them. He scooped Clara gently. She didn't pull away this time. Theo beamed. Sister home. But drama spiked fast. The next day, the mansion buzzed with cops. Sarah updated. Raids hit 3 states. Arrested 2 docs. Networks global. Pharma-backed. Twins like yours? Priceless for sync studies. Aaliyah frowned. Sync? Neural link. Emotions, pain's mirror. Rare goldmine. Lucas blanched. My kids aren't data. Tension cranked when a doctor called the gate. Reynolds claiming follow-up on Theo. Security bounced her, but Sarah traced, same network. That night, Aaliyah spotted a blonde lurking behind the fence, binoculars glinting. Sarah, eyes on perimeter. Cops swooped, but she vanished. Lucas slammed his fist. Enough. We're out. 2 days later, they bolted to his lake house in Connecticut. Cozy 4-bedder, deck over water. No mansion vibes. Felt like a real home. Aaliyah rode shotgun in the SUV. Twins buckled back. Clara clutched Theo's hand the whole drive, eyes wide at the highways. Big world, she whispered. Theo nodded. Safe now. Lucas gripped the wheel, white-knuckled. Temporary, till security upgrades. But his eyes screamed fear. First real dad mode. The lake house settled quickly. Aaliyah unpacked, assigning rooms. Twins across the hall, her next door. Lucas ditched suits for jeans, awkward but trying. First breakfast, cereal bowls clinking. Sleep okay? He asked stiffly. Theo nodded. Clara stared at her spoon. Dry, Theo said suddenly. She likes dry. Lucas blinked. How'd you know? Theo shrugged. Just do. Aaliyah hid a smile, sync kicking in. Clara munched contentedly. Therapy started remotely. Dr. Wilson via video. Separate them briefly, she suggested. Aaliyah took Clara to the kitchen. Lucas stayed with Theo. 5 minutes in, both kids freaked, rocking, whining at the same time. Incredible, Wilson murmured, linked like one brain. Reunited, they calmed instantly, building blocks in sync. Theo places, Clara mirrors without words. Drama didn't quit. Week in, Lucas's phone buzzed. Old partner Vaughn. Drop the Winter's probe, he growled. Some things stay buried. Lucas hung up pale. Threat? Aaliyah asked. Veiled. Reynolds reach. Sarah called. Reynolds surfaced. Tried bribing a contact for your location. Aaliyah's pulse spiked. She'll hit here? Possible. Fed's closing, but she's slippery. Lucas paced the deck, watching twins skip stones. Theo nailed it. Clara fumbled. He guided her hand gently. Stones skipped. Clara's face lit with the first smile. Lucas choked up. I missed everything. Aaliyah touched his arm. Start now. Therapy dug deep. Lucas joined sessions, voice raw. I buried grief in work, ignored Theo, reminded me of loss. Twins listened, Clara peeked up. Sad daddy. He nodded, tears flowing. Very sad, but fixing it. Sync weirdness ramped. Theo spiked a fever. Hours later, Clara matched exact temps rising, falling together. Doc Martinez examined. Physiological link, unheard of. Lucas dove in, reading autism books, joining play. Puzzle? He asked Clara, hesitantly. She nodded shyly, piecing with him. Theo watched approvingly. Threats escalated. A suspicious car tailed their grocery run. Lucas swerved home, calling Sarah. Reynolds plates! Feds raided her lab, found files on Harrington twins. Synchronized patterns, breakthrough potential. Lucas raged. My kids ain't experiments. Board called, company tanking without you. He hung up. Screw it, I'm out. That night, deck stars bright, he told Aaliyah. Starting a foundation, Elizabeth Harrington, for autistic kids, trafficking victims. Her eyes lit. I'd run it, he smiled faintly. Knew you would. Romance sparks subtle. Shared glances over therapy, his hand brushing hers. Family bonding, threats looming, but resolve steel. Foundation seeds planted. Hope amid the dark web. 6 months flew by like a whirlwind, and the Harrington mansion? Total makeover. What used to be a cold, echoey tomb now buzzed like a hive. Offices in the East Wing crammed with staff, phones ringing off the hook, walls splashed with kids' art. Aaliyah stood in the hallway, clipboard in hand, watching Lucas on a video call in the main office. We've reunited 5 more families this quarter, he said, voice steady but fired up. But we need tougher laws. Special needs kids aren't commodities. The screen showed senators nodding. Lucas had turned CEO shark into advocate beast. Aaliyah's chest swelled. He'd come miles from the distant dad she'd met. Gone was the suit and tie robot. Now jeans and tees, sleeves rolled for action. She slipped into the living room, where Theo hunched over a tower of blocks, tongue poking out in focus. Clara sat cross-legged nearby, slapping stickers on each level with glee. Look, Aaliyah, Theo called, voice clear and confident. No more whispers. Castle for us. Clara grinned shyly, adding a pink flag. Pretty now. Aaliyah dropped to the floor, high-fiving them. You two are pros. Theo's speech had exploded. Full sentences, even jokes. Clara caught up fast, her isolation scars fading with therapy and playdates. But their sync? Still freaky. Theo sneezed. Clara followed 2 seconds later. Aaliyah laughed it off, but it reminded her. The network hunted that magic. Lucas wrapped up his call, striding in. Boards pushing, companies floundering. He ruffled Theo's hair. The kid didn't flinch anymore. Told him I'm done. Foundation's my gig now. Aaliyah nodded, warmth spreading. Smart move. We've got donors lining up. He caught her eye, that spark lingering longer these days. Couldn't without you running point. She flushed, busying herself with the blocks. Romance simmered, shared coffees on the deck, his hand grazing hers during meetings. But work first. Elizabeth Harrington Foundation hummed, rescuing trafficked kids, funding autism support. Aaliyah's psych background shone, coordinating therapies, vetting cases. Last week, they'd flown in a reunited family. Mom's tears hit hard. Drama hadn't vanished, though. Trial kicked off brutally. Winters and crew in cuffs, spitting venom. Lucas testified first, voice cracking on the stand. I trusted her with my family. She stole my daughter, murdered my wife. Prosecutors played Aaliyah's recordings. The courtroom gasped at Winter's cold laughs about valuable subjects. Aaliyah sat in the gallery, nails biting palms. Reynolds took the stand next, plea deals spilling guts. Networks spanned continents, pharma giants funding twin studies. Harrington kids? Prime specimens. Juries' faces twisted in disgust. Aaliyah's rage flared fresh. Kids as specimens? She'd faced Reynolds in a stare-down during breaks, the doc smirking. You meddled in big leagues. Aaliyah shot back. And won. Breaks brought heart tugs. Twins waited in a side room with guards. Clara doodling families. Theo building replicas of the courthouse. Bad lady gone? Clara asked softly. Lucas knelt. Soon, sweetie. He hugged them both. Clara leaned in now. No more shrinks. Therapy unearthed pain. Clara's sessions revealed isolation horrors. Locked dark, no Theo. Theo shared visions. Saw her always, but no one believed. Aaliyah facilitated, her voice steady but her insides churning. You're believed now. Progress showed. Theo initiated hugs and Clara sang off-key tunes. Their personalities bloomed. Theo methodical, fixing gadgets with Lucas. Clara artistic, painting murals for the foundation walls. Arrests snowballed. Feds raided labs, freeing 26 kids. Aaliyah coordinated intakes. One boy, autistic like Theo, clung to her. Safe? Yeah, buddy. Home soon. Tears pricked. Echoes of Clara's rescue. Media swarmed the mansion gates. Lucas fielded interviews, voice firm. This foundation honors Elizabeth, fighting for every vulnerable kid. Donations poured in, volunteers stacked up. Aaliyah's days blurred, meetings, rescues, late nights crunching data. Lucas joined one session, watching her direct staff. You're a natural. She shrugged, but his gaze lingered. That night, deck under stars, he confessed. More than boss employee. She met his eyes. Me too. A simple kiss sealed it, slow burn igniting. Foundation gala hit big. Mansion gardens lit with strings, donors mingling, twins in matching outfits. Theo explaining his block tower to guests. For safe houses. Clara handed drawings. Happy families. Aaliyah emceed, voice strong. We've shattered a network, saved lives. But it's the belief, in one child's whisper, that started it. Applause thundered. Lucas beamed from the side. Post-event, family unwound in the revamped office. Now playroom hybrid. Lucas read bedtime stories, voice warm. Love you both. Theo yawned. Love you, Dad. Clara echoed softly. Aaliyah tucked them in, heart full. Lucas pulled her close in the hall. Couldn't without you. She smiled. Team effort. As lights dimmed, Aaliyah reflected. 6 months flipped everything. Mansion alive, family healed. Theo and Clara thrived, distinct but bonded. Lucas, devoted dad, foundation force. Her, hero in the shadows, now partner in light. Trusting Theo's words, changed the world. In the end, this story reminds us that trusting a child's words, especially those from a kid on the spectrum who the world might dismiss, can unravel the darkest secrets and save lives. It's a wake-up call. Always listen, because one small voice can shatter lies and spark real change. What about you? Have you ever ignored a gut feeling from a kid in your life, or trusted it and watched it transform everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Stick around for the next video, where we'll dive into another jaw-dropping tale of hidden family truths and unbreakable bonds that defy the odds. You won't want to miss it. Thanks so much for watching and being part of this journey with me. See you soon. Take care out there.